spacey. I've been lost inside a daydream. These hopes of mine could really.
Alright, so after finishing Pond Falls, we're going to hike to another waterfall. It's quite the rainy day out, so instead we're going to take a quick pop into one of the old copper mines that we know of that are up in the area.
Here we go. We are going to be walking to the Nonesuch Mine. It's an old copper mine in the Porcupine Mountains. Nonesuch Mine wasn't very successful, but it did discover the copper ore slab that led to the White Pine Mine, which is one of the most successful mines in the area here. So we're hiking into this mine. It's been open since like 1860 until I think early 1900s, like majority of the mines when they closed down. So we're gonna be hiking into there, seeing what's kind of left, seeing the ruins, and then yeah. So we got the remainder structures that we have here. A couple pillars. So you got the pillars. Got two pillars here with a gap. Gap up in the middle there. So big building was here. Big building. Here's where they had one of the shafts. Looking at some aerial maps, definitely looks like the majority of the tailings are up over that side of the river there. And I can see kind of a hole, so we're going to cross over here, go over to the other side of the river, and take a look, see what's a hole that is and what's over there. Not a whole lot of luck looking for the other shaft where all this rock came from. Don't got a ton of time left in the day to be spending walking through the woods because we still got a bunch of hiking to do to get into the cabin. So we'll leave this for another time, but still kind of neat to see how much rock they dug out. One of the biggest differences of the Nonesuch Mine than other mines that we've been heading over to is most of the mines are by railroad stations, so the miners would live in a separate town, take the train, stagecoach, take something to get to the mine, whereas Nonesuch kind of made their own little town here. They had their own stagecoach and markets and everything else, so the site itself is more important because there was old buildings and other items here. This is a very popular area versus just people going there when they had to work and then going home. Alright, so kind of looking back at this picture that was drawn in 1884. So all those big buildings that we saw, looks like they'd all be connected here with the shaft being here because you got the stream that runs around. And then it looks like they had some bridge that went over the water, over to the side. This is where all of the rocks and stuff we were climbing up was, so there wasn't any other mine shaft up there. It looks like they just brought it over and dumped it. One of the next places we're going to be doing is Lake of the Clouds. So we're going to get all the way up there. It's a very, very short hike to the actual observation tower up there. There's some cabins and campgrounds you can rent around it, but we're just going up there quick, take a look at how the lake's doing, look around. You can see very, very, very far, so we're going to do that quick. And then there's one other stop I want to make. That's to a short little test mine also here. It's now closed off and it's just used for bats, but we're gonna go up there, take a quick peek at that because it's on the way to the cabin, get loaded up and start hiking in. We are off. We're all loaded up here. We got a combination for the cabin. Gonna be a nice quick 0.75 miles. Hopefully we packed everything. If we forget something, that would be unfortunate. So you got the white birch cabin, and you got the Union Bay yurt, which is this way. So we're gonna head this way to the white birch cabin. So looking at how big these trails are, how short of a hike it really is to get in there. I mean, these cabins would be fantastic for somebody that isn't able to hike multiple miles, or if you have kids. Looks like they run a brush hog through here, so everything's kept pretty far back. If I can see correctly, after a very nice, very short walk, come over to our cabin in the woods. So you can kind of see Lake Superior right through the trees there. This is a 2-person cabin, but you got three tables here. 1, 2, 3. Good little fire pit. Let's see how this looks from the inside. Nice little wood stove, bench, record book, window, hooks, and your bunk bed. You got a smoke detector up there. Again, double bunks. Leave kettle for boiling water maybe. There we go. With everything else dropped off in the cabin kind of all set up, we are going to head on down to Lake Superior. Alright, so we got Lake Superior here. So no beach here. All rocks. I think we're gonna miss the sunset, so I don't think we're gonna have any fire on the beaches tonight. This is it. Well, since we got some time, when nobody's in a rush, we're gonna hike on out to the peninsula right there. So cool just to see the layering of rock on the shoreline here. No matter what, everything will try to grow and find a way. But overall, this stone is just in layers, and it'll break apart in layers. We're almost right up over here. Well, we made her out here. I still don't think we're gonna hit the sunset because you got the sun here, and right over here you got another peninsula that's gonna stick out and block it. So I think no matter what we do, we're not gonna get a shot at the sun set tonight. But you know, obviously here the waves pushing forward up on here, and then calms down the more over here. So I think tonight we get some pretty flat waters, but we're gonna go fill up our water bottles now, find a spot over not by standing water. In case people want to know, this is the pack that I use. There's the brand, Air Contact Core. That's the name, not the brand. There's the brand. Basically this type of pack is big enough so it fits my body. I'm 6'1", 6'2". I just want a bag that carries a lot of stuff. It's got one solid center package that zips up open on the side so you can get access to that. It's got a spot to hold your bladder, a spot for it to kick out if you want it. Bottom of the bag has a separate compartment for your sleeping bag, or you unzip it in the middle and it's all just one large compartment. Some mesh on the sides if you want to hold other stuff. A really sturdy belt with pockets on both sides, and then the pack that goes on you, it's adjustable. Does a really good job of keeping air off you, so I really love it. This is the pack that I use. And this is my water filtration system. It's supposed to have the other hose that goes in the bottom that stays in the water, but that's at home. So this just sits in the water. You work it extremely easy, just like a pump. You grab the handle, pump it, sucks water in, up, pushes it through the filter inside here, out the top, and into your bottle. So with Lake Superior water being right here, there's no better fresh water to have than right from the lake. One of the books I always like reading before coming out here is they put out a couple of these. This is the newer one that they have. There's an older one, but this book just goes over all the different cabins, wildlife, camping spots. Just goes over when they were built, why they were built, the meaning behind that, lets you know all the little secret spots that are at the cabin or where to go to that you might not know. So this kind of gives you a little insider's guide on where you're going in the park, the best areas to go for whether it's sunset, campsites, finding rocks, finding leaks and stuff in the wild. So it's always good to bring this along, give it a quick read, make sure I'm not missing something over. One thing I would recommend that I always forget, whenever you go to the beach, always leave a spot that you came in from, such as came in from here. It's very difficult to determine where you came in from. If you were to set a piece of rock, like or branches in an X, or some rocks in a pile, just as a visual, so then you don't end up walking right past it. It definitely helps you stay and understand where the trail is. Luckily enough, I kind of remember the rocks, these ones, so we get back to the trail, but it's very easy to forget where you came from, and then you kind of have to just walk in the woods so you find your trail. The one thing I will say about this cabin is it's a very dark cabin without any lights. So you get all the nice and bright outside, but then without these lights, it's very dark in here. See this one, got the maps, fishing regulations, pests, newspaper. See what else they got. Oh, they got QR codes for all the maps. Nearest emergency room, which is an hour away. So there's that. Let's see. Not for fire paper, leaving the cabin. Alright. So let's see. First entry is from 2019. Oh, there's pictures of everything. Some people have pictures they put in here. That's cool. Didn't think of leaving a Polaroid. August 2024. That's kind of neat. And the last entry here was 8/10 through 13. Well, Lantern's still doing a really good job as we're going through this. With how warm it gets on top of it, I threw my little mug in there, threw some teacups, so while we're reading, we're having our tea warm up pretty quick. So they got the stove here, but everybody always says not to use it because it makes the cabin super, super, super hot. So, oh, don't get that stuff on your finger like I did. Get some water going. Going in no time. You got chicken fried rice. So we're gonna get this all ready to go. My buddy gave me this a while ago. I never used it. But we're gonna use it now. I am hungry after a long day. Kind of dumped in the bag. Let's seal the bag up. For 5 minutes. Alright, we let her cool for a little bit. Still a little warm. Even though I used less water than they asked for, still gets a little extra soupy, but not bad. Chicken fried rice. We'll see you guys in the morning. Gonna finish eating this, lay down, get to bed, and then make some oatmeal in the morning, hiking out of here, and that'll be the end of the trip. So. Alright, so made it on out, saying goodbye over in the cabin. So instead of making breakfast and oatmeal today,
Still pretty full from the bag that we made last night, so I'm not gonna make any breakfast. We're just gonna hike on out of here and head on home. Such a beautiful morning here in the Porkies. Lake Superior is probably just flat calm, snow winds, nothing but blue skies. Makes you just want to keep staying out here. Here's one of the mines that was in the Porcupine Mountains. Obviously this one being off the main roadway here, it is fully sealed off. Same style as that other one that we are trying to get over by. So this one, with it being fully sealed off, they're doing a lot of experiments such as the white nose syndrome for bats. They're testing out a couple different ways in which maybe they can reduce it and improve the bat's life with that. So just a little off the roadway here. The mine is very much flooded, puts out quite a bit of water that's overflowing from the mine. And then it drips all the way down to the big old lake. This is all you can see. So right now we're also, you see it drops down pretty good. We're on the tailing pile from the mine. So if you think how much material we're standing on, if we're at the treetop level, it's all of this. Alright, well that's probably going to do it for this trek. Did quite a bit. Waterfalls, a little bit of a mine before then that I didn't think we were going to do. The Nonesuch Mine, we got that done. Lake of the Clouds, this little inlet mine, and then camping over on the cabin and being on the Lake Superior. So quite a bit. Did it all in a day, so could have stretched it out a little more, but we got her done. But that's all that I got. Thanks for watching, and let me know if there's anything that you want to see or do different.